Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Basement Players Club Open Mic Night. We are here every Wednesday. My name is Meg. I'm your host. I'm a coffee roaster, a consultant, and a creative. And this week, we're going to start out on page 31 with a poem called The Morning Baking. This is from Carolyn Forche's, I probably did not pronounce that right, book Gathering the Tribes. So The Morning Baking. Grandma, come back, I forgot. How much lard for these rolls? Think you can put yourself in the ground like plain potatoes and grow in Ohio? I am damn sick of getting fat like you. Think you can lie through your Slavic? Tell filthy stories about the blood sausage, pish-pish nights at the Virgin in Detroit. I blame your raising me for my Slav tongue. You beat me up out back, taught me to dance. I'll tell you, I don't remember any kind of bread, your wavy loaves of flesh. Stink through my sleep, the stars on your silk robe. But I'm glad I'll look when I'm old, like a gypsy dusha hauling milk. And then the poet's companion, which is what I'm reading from, on page 32, goes on to say that the first lines of the poem are a plea for the dead grandmother to return and set us up for a poem of longing. So that's where I will end there. And if anyone has something that they brought tonight or something they've been working on, this is our first share, and I'll just open up the mic for anyone who has anything that maybe inspires you that someone else read or that you're working on. This is our first share of the night, so if you would like to share.
I'll share one.
Okay, Keelan, and we are recording, so if you do want to introduce yourself again, just for the recording, feel free. The mic is yours.
Okay, let's see. I'm Keelan. Some people have told me that I'm a poet. All of them happen to be myself, but I'm working on it. Let's see. What's this one called? This one's called Please Don't Hurt the Cat. The real fight is against the dullness, the cold. Man is a miracle of warmth, but can maintain it only for a while. Everything stands in opposition to our beauty. Gravity does, and time and repetition. So we surround ourselves with life. We defy the cold universe beckoning us backwards into blackness. We scream with youth to douse the flames of hell. We keep our muses lit and angels bright, and our poetry a summer evening of the mind, where young wits make a parody of death, and lines are penned so lovely that they're noted upon the ultimate document we live, that we can feel the sunlight on our skin and die, that we can look upon the finished day and remember.
Oh, great.
And I forgot to remind everyone that after someone shares, we can open up the floor. If something inspires you, something that you loved, something that you're curious about, feel free to open up and share that.
Did you just write that?
Yeah, a couple of days ago.
Wow, amazing. Yeah.
I was reading, oh, I'm sorry.
Pardon, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've been reading the odes of the Roman poet Horace, who like can't go a line and a half without like dropping some sort of like ultimate verdict on the human condition. And I have this weird thing where I'll vacuum up some poet that I've taken a shine towards, and then he starts, or he or she, very much she, will come like spilling out through my subconscious as I'm writing. Like, even though I'm not trying to be them, they just come out. And I think what I'm describing is pretty freaking common, but it just started happening to me recently. And I don't know, it keeps you wanting to read good poetry when good poetry like starts to form this kind of subconscious relationship with your writing. I don't know if anybody has like felt that yet, but it's powerful. It makes me feel like I'm a part of a larger global community of wit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you kind of expressed like doubt about calling yourself a poet. I think that's the first step to you being a poet, is just identifying yourself, being open about it, and just saying, yeah, I write poetry. I'm a, and you need that affirmation for yourself, because that was really good. And I agree about, whatever, whenever I hear other comedians and stuff, I'll start talking in that voice. If I listen to some Mitch Hedberg, I'll take on, like my next couple jokes will sound just like a Mitch Hedberg joke. Or if I watch Chris Rock, my next couple jokes sound just like Chris Rock. So I think that imitation, or I don't know, I don't want to say imitation in a negative way, but just that influence kind of coming through. You put enough of those together, and I think your own voice starts shining through all that. That was great, man. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Fitzy.
And hello, just me. You are a wonderful, wonderful poet. And if you were a poet, you wouldn't be here. So I'm glad you put your poetic talent and mind into gear. So thanks for being here.
Thanks, Eddie. We poets got to go somewhere.
Yeah, Keelan, thank you for that. I love the way you read it. Your voice.
Yeah, thank you.
Your tone is beautiful. Okay, Eddie sent me a message, said he wanted to read. Eddie, it's all yours. The mic is yours, Eddie.
Thank you so much. I am touched. Here's a okay, this is called Knock Knock. Knock knock. Who, what, when, where? Knock knock. Who's there? Knock knock. Should I care? Knock knock. Do I dare? Knock knock. Dang it, the sun's glare. Knock knock. Yes, I can hear. I'm aware. Knock knock. I do nothing, I swear. Knock knock. I don't need a prayer. Knock knock. My house doesn't need repair. Knock knock. I don't need cookware. Knock knock. I don't need another armchair. Knock knock. I'm losing my hair. Knock knock. Don't have money to spare. Knock knock. I know life isn't fair. Knock knock. Oh my God, I'm in a nightmare. Knock knock. Are you a grizzly bear? Knock knock. I'm only in my underwear. Knock knock. Please be air. Knock knock. I have nothing to share. Knock knock. This isn't a daycare. Knock knock. Yes, I'm here. Are you still there?
Yay.
Thank you. And I got one short one, if that's okay. Is it okay? Oh, thank you so much. I am touched. This is called Love Is. Love is easy. People make it hard. It can be breezy. Just lower your guard. Come on, don't be uneasy. It won't leave you scarred. Let love in. Don't feel queasy. Love is between good and evil with deep regards. Love is flying and soaring freely. Love isn't measured in millimeters or yards. Love, but please don't be greedy or too creepy. Love is warmer than the sun with big open arms. Thank you.
Those are awesome.
Thank you.
That was
Thanks.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Every time I hear you, although some people say rhymey poems are not, they're kind of not deep or profound, I realize that they are very profound. All your poems have a deeper meaning, even though it sidetracks into humor, it really is profound. What you said at the end of Knock Knock, especially the beginning and the end, it all wrapped up. I think it was brilliant. Eddie,
Oh,
you're
thank
brilliant.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry on camera. You're such a potastic guy. I'm not gonna lie, you're just so impactful, inspiring, and just a profound guy. And I keep asking why, but you're Julian. Your words just fly. Thank you so much. One and all, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I loved the visuals that were going through my head as I was listening to you read Knock Knock. And I was thinking, like, you have, in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's got like a pad by the door, and every time it knocks, he's like, knock, knock, should I care? Knock, knock, I can hear. And I was like, I wonder how many days that person in the poem encompassed. And then I loved the idea that you said love is easy, because a lot of people do make it harder than it should be, I think.
I'll do one if you're open to it. So this is called. It came from a prompt that said, "If life doesn't give you lemons," so it was a flip on if life gives you lemons, go make lemonade. Yeah. So I wondered what life, which is lemonless, means. So I tried to interpret it through this poem. So here goes. Lemonless. When life doesn't give you lemons, get a banana and peel it. Then slip on it. Find the appeal in tripping up on your own ego. Then pick yourself up. Go buy a durian. Open it up with bare hands. Prick your fingers and bleed. Smell the pain of being one of the unfreed. Then go sit under a tree. If a shiny new apple should drop on your head, ignore it. You don't understand the gravity of your own ignorance anyway. Let all the apples fall at your feet and rot and rot and rot. Then give in to temptation and eat one. Let it cure you of your sinless core. If life doesn't give you lemons, check your privilege before entering the orchard. Not everyone has a branded juicer to make lemonade. Besides, ice melts, sweetness is overrated. So stop drinking the Fool-Aid. Here, bite into the bitter, raw. Empathy is a fruit you have yet to taste. A lemonless life is deceiving. Relish the receiving. End poem. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really like that, Julian. I kind of like the right away what you started off with, kind of throwing us off with, like, if life gives you lemon, like, screw it, just get a banana. Like, I don't know, you kind of had me at that part.
I love how you managed, Julian. By the way, that was amazing. To find wisdom in, like, everyday kitchen objects. Like, it was. If you can do that.
Thank you.
Woo, Julian, you're amazing.
So I like some of it on the last one, Julian. That one did, like, some of it just almost didn't, it was like still a poem, but didn't feel like a poem. Like, it's just straight out, and it still was like a poem. So I liked it. I mean, it doesn't matter whether I liked it or not. I just, thank you. I thought it was good. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Julian, I had a question for you. Is you have a slight accent? Is English your second language?
You could say that, but I think we only spoke English mostly in my home.
Okay.
Although I'm in Malaysia, the national language is Malay, but
Okay.
we're very multiracial, so a lot of people speak 3 languages at least. They speak English, Malay, and their mother tongue, which could be any form of Chinese. So it could be any dialect in Chinese, or it could be any dialect in Indian, which is either Tamil or Malayali or some other dialect. So yeah.
The reason I asked was I was just kind of curious. I wondered if you composed your poems in that language, or if you like kind of if there's a translation of them, kind of. I don't know, just something I thought of as I don't know a second language, not well enough to write in it, but I was curious if somebody knew multiple languages, what language, if they would choose what language they would want to write the poem in. So
I used to, when I first started, I used to write in Malay and English, because most of the audience for live events here in poetry, spoken word was multilingual. So the puns in Malay and can spin 3 ways, you know.
Okay.
It's not just a pun with 2 ways, it's 3 ways. So when people get it, it's really cool. Yeah. So, but now I'm writing mainly in English, because most of the audience out in Zoom is English. But every now and then I throw in a Malay word just to, like I put in the word durian there, which is a fruit many of y'all may not be familiar with. It's a very spiky green fruit. I think it was in the Tonight Show. I think I'm not sure. One of the famous actresses brought it. So it's a terribly smelly fruit. And it's got spikes, and when you open it, you can prick your hand on it. But what you have inside is very yellow custardy fruit. Tastes like custard, and it's very sweet, and usually, and it's the king of fruits here. It's all over the whole region, Thailand, and Malaysia, Singapore.
Is it illegal in Singapore to bring in public transportation?
Yeah, you can bring it into hotels or public transportation. They actually have an icon of the durian with spikes with an X on it.
Because of the smell?
Singapore,
Yeah,
they have no chewing gum and none of that fruit. How do you spell it?
Durian.
Durian.
If you Google it, you'll see it came out on the Tonight Show a few months ago. One of the famous actresses brought it there, and even the host found it too pungent for him to. I can't remember who it was, Jimmy Fallon or the other Jimmy. Yeah, look up the link and send it to you.
That's so funny. I loved that, or the things that I wrote down, I loved open it with bare hands, let all the apples fall, fool-aid, and relish the receiving. That's what stood out to me. We're at halftime, so if anyone else wants to share something that they brought that they wrote previously, now is the time. Trevor,
Whoops, hold on one sec. I found this one. I found 2 here. I'll read. Okay, this is just a poem. It's called Sally. Excuse me. It says, and then came Sally from Timbuktu. She's sweet, petite, and 22. Looking for a man who will dance a lot. A real Prince Charming from Camelot. A fighter, a champ, a swell of a guy who will give her lumps and make her cry. Sally, why do you have such a broken picker? Can't you see the signs? Can't you read the sticker? If it says he's a creep, a jerk, then get away. Take time to laugh, make time to play. And trust in God, our creator above. The right man will come. He'll bring trust. He'll bring love. Okay, and I have one more that was... Oh, I have a short prayer that I wrote. It's 4 lines. It's a poem though. And it's just titled Prayer. It says, Lord, today I am so messy, a messy blob of poo. Tomorrow may be no different. Please tell me what to do. But the other one I want to read, okay, this one's titled Penguin. I am a penguin who waddles with the herd, moving out towards the sea. I waddle away to a wall of ice. Whap, whap, whap. I bonk my head. The wall will not give up. Whap, whap, whap. Beak is sore, forehead hurts. Whap, whap, whap. Move, you stupid wall, or I'll show. Lonnie, my penguin friend, puts his gentle wing around me and points me in the direction of the sea. I waddle back to the herd, dive in the ocean, and swim with my brothers and sisters. I am one with the deep, deep sea. Then I begin to drift away. Bonk. That's the
You had me a penguin. I just like penguins and stories about penguins.
Thank you.
May I read one more?
Yes.
Sure, Keelan, and then we're going to go into our free write. But I just wanted to say that I really love the idea of a broken picker, and then I loved the whap. That just sounded really different. And also the way that ended, I'm floating away, and then the sounds just were really fun. Okay, Keelan, it's all you.
Let's see. This one's called Don't. Don't leave. Don't leave me again in this small bedroom, the pale, dark walls standing silent above me at 4 a.m, like tribal statues overlooking a sacrifice of the innocent. Don't leave. Don't make me look at myself in the mirror the way one must the morning after a breakup and see a man there flying incandescent as a comet through the truth and the memories, afraid. Please don't leave, or the dandelions will all grow thorns, mailmen will start lurking in alleys, the paintings in the museum will turn yellow, hot dogs will sit strangely in their buns, Angela's hair will fall out in the shower, and the beach will be littered with rags. Don't leave. Don't give me the pain I gave you. Give me much, much less. So little indeed that the gods begin smiling and bless your garden with warm, sacred rain. And no matter who you ask, no matter where you go, you'll know that you saved someone from having to go to where the night winds are racing in their pain.
That was very profoundly deep and poetic. Good job.
Thanks, Eddie.
No problem, poet.
Thank you, Keelan, for sharing that. We're going to admit Christopher and then go into our free write. This is going to be shorter today since our first half was a little bit full. So it's just going to be a 5-minute free write. Christopher, are you in? Hi, Christopher, welcome. So, okay, everybody. Again, you can write whatever you want. You don't have to follow the prompt. This is just going to be a 5-minute dedicated time to writing. And my prompt, which I love that you just shared what you shared, Keelan, because the prompt I have today is look at it. So in 5 minutes, we'll come back. I just wrote it in the text. So the prompt is look at it. You can write whatever you want. You don't have to follow the prompt. Hi, Christopher. The first half of our open mic, we all share something that we brought before tonight, and then midway through we do a prompt, and then we come back and share a second time if you want. Good to see
Okay,
you.
got it. Good to see you.
Woo, Chris. Or could I say Sir Chris? Woo!
Fantastic, Eddie.
Yeah, my name is Eddie. I'm always ready. I'm glad you're here. Woo!
Okay, guys, one more minute. Start to wrap up what you're writing. And Christopher, I just wanted to make sure you know that this is being recorded. So if for any reason you do want to share something and you don't want it on YouTube, I can edit that out. So if anyone would like to share what they wrote for the prompt, look at it, or anything that they wrote during this time, feel free. Christopher, you have first dibs if you have something you'd like to share since you just showed up.
Yeah, I do have something, but I need to, if I'm able to do a screen share. Let me though pull up my document and give me 5 minutes or
Sure.
10 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start then. There it is. She puts her plate down and all eyes approach. Look at it. With pride she waves. The two who follow to see my reply, would it be pleasure, satisfaction? Instead, laughter and joy, the translation had gone awry. I'll never eat breakfast the same way again. Who knows, no one, just how long your one table will continue to laugh and love you.
That was lovely.
Thank
I
you.
Really captivate the eyes and the ears and the heart. Fantastic.
Thank you. Eddie, you're raising your hand. Did you want to share too?
Sure. I love to share. Yes, I care. Look at that. Watch how the colors inspire you. Touch how the present spark you. Smell how the energy fuels you. Hear how the melody captivates you. Move how the earth roots you. Live how the gales blow you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. All right.
I can share my free write.
Oh yeah, Trevor, you want to go?
Yes, and this
Trevor
is just
and then
from,
Julian.
so this is just from the free write. So that's the disclaimer. So look at it. The microphone, the mirror, they're near to my heart, and maybe you. Look at it. Tell me, what should I do? About the future, about the past, about the $50 and that piece of ass. A fine camel I rode through the desert. I get back here, wherever that is. To get back here, wherever that is. Oh, look at it, sitting right over there, right in front of you. It's almost under your nose. Clean your toes, wiggle your bottom. Free ride.
Thank you,
So long.
Trevor. Go for it, Julian.
Brilliant, Trevor. Along the same lines. Look at it, just sitting there, so forlorn and unused and gathering dust in its little corner of your room. Did you even know it was there? I guess if you drew the curtains and let the light in, you would have seen it. I guess if you lifted the blanket, you might have spotted it. I guess if you had your eyes open too, it might help. If you only tried a little harder. Come on, get up. Look beyond yourself. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. Love yourself.
Julian, you always make me cry. Like, oh my gosh, thank you.
I've got one to share also.
Go for it, Fitz.
All right, I'm just gonna turn my video off for it. Look at it. It looks ridiculous. You can't show this to people. They'll think you're mad. I'll have no part in it. Think of what they'll say. They'll say you're a no good lunatic. Then they'll judge you. Then they'll judge me for being with you. We won't hear them say it, of course, but we'll feel it. And then what? Sure, you'll have this ridiculous thing that you made and that makes you happy, and we'll have each other, but they'll all talk, and we'll just have to live with that. Thank you.
What a great prompt. Look at the many angles it's coming at. I love it.
Christopher, I put multiple screen sharing options on if you are ready.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Fitz. It's all you, Christopher.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's get to the beginning of this. This is a lady that I dated in the 1970s. She had a couple of children. I've never had any children myself. She had two sons, Josh and Benjamin. And we dated for a few months. It so happened that Andrea's husband was a fellow poet in the Baltimore area where I was then living. And this is Chris Toll, who passed away 10 years ago, actually on my mother's birthday, September the 27th, 2012. And he was a much beloved Baltimore poet. And as you can see, there he is seated in a Baltimore cemetery. And I've long had a thing for cemeteries. As you can hear, I'm originally from the UK. So I've spent a lot of time in British cemeteries and American cemeteries too. This is called The Old Graveyard in Reisterstown. I see no flag on Hezekiah's snow-drifted grave. A carved angel shepherds the rain-worn inscription. The story of the old blacksmith's long fight against illness. Hezekiah, who has lain here decaying 120 winters. The library patrons beyond the boundary wall take no notice of the lichen-blotched tombstones. They hurry past, mounded with books, weighted with wisdom. They coax life from the cold engines of their station wagons and lurch away into the night. Will no one except me look for meaning in these minor Rosetta stones, the carvings of wheat sheaves, of hourglasses, of death's heads, the lives lived and died in this Maryland village? Must their lessons be washed into the ground unread? And this is Chris before he passed away at Ravens M&T Stadium in Baltimore with his son, Joshua, who I've been able to reconnect with in the last few weeks. And this is from a, well, it's a poem for Chris Toll. And it has a, it's not by me, and I'm afraid I don't have the name of the poet who wrote it. Poem for Chris Toll in the in-between, and has an epigraph from one of Chris's works. I'm a snowflake and I'm drifting toward a bonfire. I know this, I'm getting hot. It is better to be wild than to be accepted. His phone lights his face like a prayer candle, like a star in a young universe. It is better to be free than it is even to be good. Christopher Roy Toll, 64, of Baltimore, Maryland, transcended due to natural causes on September the 27th, 2012. Chris, this is serious. This is an engine and it's stalling. Out there in the in-between, it's kiss or be kissed. Load your machine gun with sugar pills and fire indiscriminately into the void. Let your heart go like a smart bomb. And in the final reel, after the dust settles on heaven's empty parking lot, we will find God on his laurels, rusting. Thanks, everyone.
That was outstanding. The way you read, your voice has such great weight to it, and you have just such great intonation. Your accent helps a lot too, but you read those just wonderfully. They were great to listen to.
Well, you know, Chris Toll was not a great reader of his own work, and I'm afraid that a number of poets don't realize that they're putting on a performance. You know, and you've got to entertain the audience. You've got to, you know, tell them something in your poetry. That's my approach. You know.
Yeah, it definitely it felt like a story. It was great. It was wonderful to listen to. I'll listen to you read anything, man.
Absolutely amazing, Christopher. That last poem ended like on a note that I'm going to be thinking about all night. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, Chris had a thing about religion. A lot of his poetry has allusions to religion. I believe he and Andrea, I think, met at Catholic University in Washington, D.C. And I'm not sure that he was religious at the end of his life, but I do know that Catholicism had a big effect on him.
May I read my right?
Yeah, thank you, Christopher, for sharing that. The visuals were neat too. Go for it, Keelan.
Let's see. So this is called Look at It. The Big Bang plunges the universe into being, flagrant flying extension, unfurling unstoppable in an instant. Rage cools to magnetism in clusters of ash. Stars spark, light comes, gravity, the world, the lava and the rains. Love is born from a world of nature freshly minted. From that love comes motion, from motion enterprise. A canticle of distraction crawls forth from our troubled blood. Need makes us observant of inhumanity. Meanwhile, there was never the inhuman. There was never the human. Just a crusade of energy flying forward in procession that reaches back to one foremost moment of God's spark incandescence. Look at it. Thank you.
Nice imagery, like I went out to space and came back or something. Is that the beginning of the Big Bang or something? Brilliant.
Yeah. I thought I had a cool idea, then I realized this is just the opening theme song to the Big Bang Theory show. And I'm like, damn it. Talk about influence, my God.
I just wrote down need makes us. And I thought that could be a whole nother prompt. I love taking notes while people are reciting their poetry, because I think sometimes what sticks out to you could make a whole nother poem or start a whole nother poem. I took a full day poetry workshop, and she just said, write down one thing from everyone's poem and write it on the top of each page of your notebook, and then write a poem off of that one thing. And I filled my notebook up that day. It was amazing how just one line can start a prompt. So need makes us. I like that. Okay, I want to be cognizant of everyone's time. So does anyone else want to share before the hour is up?
I could do a couple more things if you don't think I'm hogging.
No, I just want to, I tell everyone this is an hour, like an hour long mic night. So if people have to go right at the top of the hour, that's fine. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming tonight. And I'll send you the link to the replay. But yeah, Christopher, I have time to hang out and listen to more poetry.
Okay, well, let me do the show screen again here. And where are we?
And you're zooming in from where, Christopher?
I'm in Delaware. Long time Baltimorean, living in Maryland. Oh, I guess I've got to open up the document again. Okay. Okay, here we go. And the poet who wrote this was R.M. O'Brien, whose name I didn't have before, so I've got to add that to the poem. And this is Andrea more recently. And when I was with her in the 70s, her parents owned a bus depot near the Delaware Memorial Bridge. And let's see, I was in this depot in the 1970s, and as you can see, they claimed that it was the world's largest bus stop, Clementi's Cafeteria. I've been told, or somebody had a blog in which they were saying that it's now a furniture store, and I was up there yesterday and looked for it, and I didn't find it, but I need to ask her son, Josh, who, as I say, I'm now in contact with, if he knows whether the building is still there. So this is a section out of one of the poems that Chris wrote. And as you can see, Les Wade wrote. I think everyone has their favorite Chris Toll poem, and there are quite a few of them to choose from, which is a real testimony to Chris as a poet. Here's one that I first read a while ago. It's taken from a short poem sequence entitled, I Take the Blue Pill and the Red Pill. The third station of the double crossed. I build my mansion on a thunderbolt. Attorneys are movie stars are junkies, and rivers are blood. Why is justice just ice? The first shall be fast, and the last shall be lost. Love has no rules. A woman wearing a dog collar and a wedding gown is weeping in the rain. My mission is so secret, I don't know it myself. And as I say, Andrea and Chris had 2 children. I've never had children. However, I did have another lady who I started going out with in the 70s, who told me that she actually did become pregnant by me and she had an abortion. Now, this lady made up a lot of things. I married her twice, divorced her twice, and I wrote a song based on that experience, and I'm going to read it rather than sing it. That's my present wife and I. Donna, we met in the 1990s after I'd split up from Susan, who was the other woman that I was talking about. And I was in a gun store yesterday. My father-in-law, who passed away, Don Marks, was a gun owner, and I went to this gun store here in Newark, Delaware, and I sold them soon after I moved up here a gun for $600, and more recently tried to sell them a pellet gun, All these damn things were underneath the bed where Donna and I sleep, and the pellet gun and the other gun that I sold, and they refused to buy the pellet gun. So I found a couple of pawn shops, and this one pawn shop on the highway leading up to Wilmington had this big sign saying, "We buy everything." I turned up with about 30 different things, including this pellet gun, and they didn't buy a damn thing. So I go up to Wilmington because I'm a Liverpool FC soccer fan. The Liverpool FC supporters, there's another Liverpool guy who's the head of the supporters club. And all, of course, all the rest of them are all Americans. Coming back down to Newark, I saw there was a pawn shop on the other side. I roll up with all my stuff, and the guy's starting to look up things on the computer, and I think, oh, he's going to buy something. In the end, he did buy the pellet gun for $30, and he even helped me out with the bag of stuff afterwards. So that was a bit of a success. So I found a new gun under the bed, but unfortunately it's a pre-Civil War gun. It doesn't have bullets. It has round shot like musket balls, and it's a black powder gun, so that they weren't interested, but I'm hopeful when I go down to Baltimore next week they'll buy it. So anyway, this is a song that I wrote. It's called Shooting Blanks. I thought I was shooting blanks. The girl sobbed, thanks, but no thanks. I was married, couldn't wed her. Now I've got a son I'll never know. I had my pleasure for a while, treated that little girl with style, took her to bars and the rodeo. With guilt, I'm paying for it now. Oh, men, be careful what you sow when you play around, and savor that afterglow. You could end up with, like me, with a child you'll never know, with a child you'll never know. I thought I was shooting blanks. The girl sobbed, thanks, but no thanks. I was married, couldn't wed her. Now I've got a son I'll never know. Oh, men, be careful what you sow when you play around, and savor that afterglow. You could end up like me, with a child you'll never know, with a child you never know. She moved away with my son, made me regret what I'd begun. When she left, she done me down, taking the son I'll never know. Oh, men, be careful what you sow when you play around, and savor that afterglow. You could end up like me, with a child you'll never know, with a child you'll never know. Thanks.
Wow. I was singing along with you. Thank you, Christopher. That was quite the story. You are a storyteller. I imagine you in a big leather chair with a pipe and a thick, heavy book.
Yeah, no, that's my friend Sherlock Holmes who does that.
Beautiful. Okay, everybody, last call if anyone wants to share. I know we're over time, but we have a big crowd and it's been really delightful. Keelan?
Oh, I mean, I have more.
Well, we do this every week, so just so you guys know, we have time every week to host, and we usually stop at about an hour just to respect everyone's time.
Sure. Let me see. Let me find a short one.
All right, Trevor had to go. Bye, Trevor.
Bye, Trevor.
I just saw that. I thought you were trying to speak up, so there's no
Oh,
pressure.
I was like, why did she call on me?
No, your little square lit up. So yeah, if you want to save it for next week, Keelan, that's totally fine. We're gonna wrap it up because people want to say goodbye. So thank you everyone for coming. This was delightful. I loved all of your shares and what you brought and the visuals. This was really nice. We'll be here every Wednesday. And it's the same link every Wednesday. So
Meg, thank you so much for hosting. It was great to see everybody and hear such wonderful material tonight. So everybody keep at it. I love hearing it. And I look forward to hopefully being here next time.
Yeah, I just put some information in the chat you might be interested in. I'm also a poet, historian, and for my sins, I have a talk coming up on the British monarchy that you might be interested in, and I give talks about Poe and American Revolution and so on.
amazing. Yeah.
War of
definitely
1812.
share whatever you're working on, whatever you want to promote, this is definitely the place to do that. So thank you.
Thank you,
And
man.
how can people who are listening find you, Christopher? Bye, Julian. Thank you.
Well, I have a poetry site, and I put that link in the chat there, and you can
Okay.
reach me via the email address that I put in there too.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you.
That was an amazing, like the last poem, Christopher. It sounded like a medieval English ballad, but like brought forth into postmodern times. It was freaking amazing. And I will never forget the line. The line, why is justice just ice?
Yeah.
Immortal. That line is a triumph of modern poetry.
Well, as I say, that's not mine. That's Chris Toll. But yeah, he had these very startling images, and was a big loss to the Baltimore poetry community when he passed away.
Well, thank you for bringing him around.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, cheers to his memory for sure. Okay, everyone, I hope to see you next week. And this will be up on YouTube if you want to check it out, and keep doing what you're doing. We'll see you next week, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
See you then.